North of 10 years after the occasion of the primary film, the film starts with Jake Tarnish portraying his unobtrusive and quiet life as head of the Omaticaya faction and raising a family with his significant other Neytiri, which incorporates his children Netayam and Lok and his girl Tuk. He embraced little girl Kiri, brought into the world from Elegance Augustine's lethargic Navi symbol, and a human kid named Bug, the child of Miles Quaritch, who was brought into the world on Pandora, however, couldn't be moved to Earth in cryostasis. While Jake can acknowledge Bug as a took-on child, Neytiri is skeptical of him given his human beginnings. Nonetheless, every one of the kids blends and mingle well with one another, including Insect, whom Kiri is loving despite the fact that he is a human. The Bug doesn't embrace his human legacy and feels more lean to Navi culture and customs. They have an ordinary existence until one day they notice a bizarre star in the night sky. Once more, sadly, they understand it's an RDA space transport with people getting back to Pandora to colonize it, raising another super working base. Among the fresh debuts in the boat is Colonel Quaritch, who has been cloned into a Navi body and with his recollections transferred from before his demise. Thus, Quaritch can't recall his end because of Jake, however, is simply ready to remember the occasions before and his vindictive mission to wipe out Jake. To keep the RDA from taking advantage of Pandora once more, Jake drives an essential guerrilla activity against the RDA supply lines, debilitating them. In one of the tasks, Lok, who ignores Netayam and is anxious to show what he can do, attempts to help Jake in a fight yet gets injured. Jake protects and trains him to not imperil his own security by being foolish. That evening, while at the same time keeping an eye on his injuries, Neytiri serenely reminds Jake to be not excessively severe with Lok, to which Jake communicates his anxiety as a dad for the well-being of his youngsters. In the meantime, the counter follow-up on the RDA supply lines doesn't agree with Quaritch, who starts a hunt mission to kill Jake. During an energetic endeavor, Jake's youngsters alongside Insects investigate further into the rainforest. Unbeknownst to them, Quaritch and his group are in a similar area investigating the site where Quaritch will see his human remaining parts. An attentive Lok sees their presence and rapidly illuminates his dad Jake, who is made aware of the circumstance. Notwithstanding, a conflict happens and Quaritch's crew catches Jake's youngsters. Jake and Neytiri show up in time and free the vast majority of them. However, Bug is taken by Quaritch, who remembers him as his child. On board the boat, the RDA attempts to coercively extricate data about Jake from Insect, who won't give. Evolving technique, Quaritch tends to Bug as his child and furthermore to make sense of more about the Navi in return for his opportunity on his side. In spite of the fact that unagreeable and ignorant about Quaritch's real mission, Bug shows Quaritch Navi culture. Quaritch is likewise effectively ready to tame an Icron flying animal as his vehicle. Realizing the peril, Insect's information on his whereabouts postures to their well-being, and furthermore to keep away from another fiasco, Jake persuades a hesitant Neytiri and his family to expel themselves from the Omaticaya tribe and retreat toward the eastern seaboard of Metkayina, a coral reef island whose group and way of life is adjusted to Pandora's oceanic territory. Jake gives his main mantle to his replacement and passes on altogether to Makayina. Once showed up, they are welcomed by the group boss Tanoari and his significant other Ronil, who is far-fetched from them at first. Be that as it may, Jake makes sense of their circumstance and they are consented to remain and be given cover. Despite the fact that a few tribesmen ridicule Jake and his kids for their hereditary human legacy, the family learns the methods of the reef individuals, gaining the appreciation of them. Kiri is interested with the oceanic existence of Metkayina and fosters a profound bond with the ocean and its animals, while Lok gets to know Tsireya, the girl of group boss Tanoari and his better half Ronil. While adjusting to their new climate, Lok gets into a battle with Tsireya's sibling Aonung when he pokes an unrefined fun at Kiri and him of their blended human genealogy. Jake reprimands his child for his way of behaving. At Jack's demand, Lok gets back to apologize to Aonung and his companions. In any case, they tempt him to an excursion into the domain of a perilous ocean hunter and leave him abandoned as a vengeance. The ocean hunter attempts to go after Loke. Nonetheless, Loke is saved by and becomes friends with Peokan, a tulkun, a savvy and pacifistic cetacean species whom the meat hyena think about their otherworldly family. Upon his revisitation of meat hyena, boss Tanoari, who became mindful of Aonung's activities on Loke, requests that the previous apologize to Loke. Nonetheless, Loke assumes the fault on himself, winning Aonung's companionship. He is likewise informed that Peokan is a pariah among his species. In the meantime, out traveling to a branch off of the Tree of Spirits, Kiri joins with it to meet her mom, however experiences a vicious seizure. She is mended by Ronal, yet when Jake calls Norm Spellman and Max Patel for help, Quires can follow them to the archipelago where the reef individuals reside. Carrying insect with him, he secured a whaling vessel hunting tulkuns to gather their mind chemicals for making them hostile to maturing Quires. Quires starts to ruthlessly scrutinize the native clans about Jack's area, bombing that. He arranges the whaling team to wantonly kill the tulkuns to draw Jake out. Loke intellectually interfaces with Peokan and discovers that the tulkun was projected out on the grounds that he conflicted with the methods of his species and went after the whalers who killed his mom. At the point when the meat hyena learn of the tulkun butchers, Loke takes off to caution Peokan, trailed by his kin, Tsireya and Aonung. They find Peokan being pursued by the whalers and Loke, Kiri and Tuk are caught by Quires. With their kids in harm's way, Jake, Neytiri and the meat hyena set off to defy the people. Quires powers Jack to give up, however, seeing his spirit sibling endangered, Peokan assaults the whalers, setting off a battle which kills the greater part of the team and fundamentally harms the vessel, making it sink. Netaim salvages Loke and Insect, however is lethally shot. Jake faces Quires, who involves Kiri as a prisoner. At the point when Neytiri does likewise with Bug, Quires at first denies his child, yet ceases when Neytiri cuts Bug on the chest. Jake, Quires, Neytiri and Tuk end up caught inside the sinking vessel. Jake chokes Quires into obviousness and is protected by Loke and Peokan, and Kiri calls ocean animals to help her save Neytiri and Tuk. Insect finds and safeguards Quires, yet passes on him because of his savagery towards the Na'vi and putting his objective to kill Jack's family over being his dad and turning into a decent man, driving him back to rejoin Jake's loved ones. After Netaim's memorial service, Jake and his family choose to for all time stay with the meat hyena. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, then subscribe our channel for next interesting video.